Pepper says, "Are you ready to declutter another section of this hoarded basement?" I know I am. It is that time of the week again. It is time to declutter another section in this hoarded basement. And for the past few months, we've been making amazing progress in here. And for today, we're going to be focusing over in this area right here.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to A Hoarder's Heart. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how to overcome decision making paralysis. This was always side by side with me churning the hoard. We talked about that last week, where you take a pile of stuff and you just move it to another area to clear out that space. But it was always alongside decision-making paralysis. And basically what that is that you're in such fear of making the wrong choice that you make no choice at all. So you've made no decision to let anything go. And that would always prompt me to churn the hoard to somewhere else. So as we're decluttering the mess behind me, I'm going to be really talking in depth about decision-making paralysis and how to really move past that so that you can start decluttering.
Now, this area that we started decluttering in, this is all churned stuff, and everything in this green basket we can definitely recycle. And it got churned down here because it was upstairs at one point. Hubby didn't know what to do with it because he didn't want to upset me if he threw something out. So he brought it down into the basement because he knew that my focus was in decluttering the basement, and he knew that I would actually tackle it. Now, I can't believe I'm actually finding Easter stuff because I have Easter bins to put this away in. So that's what we have to do, is finish the task. So now let's talk more in depth about decision-making paralysis. We now know that it's basically the fear of making the wrong choice, so you make no decision at all. And this is pretty common in anxiety, depression, and ADHD. Now, this really showed up when I was a level 4 hoarder, and I would want to declutter a pile of stuff. But when I attempted to start, I felt this overwhelming amount of anxiety and fear, and I felt paralyzed. I didn't know where to start, and I didn't think I could do it because I was so emotionally attached to everything, and I felt like it would be such a great loss if I let anything go. So I didn't touch the pile at all. I didn't want to disturb the hoard because I didn't want to disturb my emotions. So the piles of clutter stayed and eventually got churned into another section of the home because it was blocking an area or someone was going to stop at my house and I was too afraid of somebody judging my clutter. So I would grab it all and throw it into the basement. And this was an endless, continuous cycle that I felt stuck in my hoarding disorder until one day I was finally able to break out of that. The first thing I did to overcome decision-making paralysis was self-acceptance. I gave myself grace that I was a human being and we are emotionally wired creatures. And sometimes your first reaction to an event is going to be an emotional one. I had a subconscious emotional reaction when it came to decluttering due to my hoarding disorder and the way my nervous system was wired. I was terrified of decluttering the hoard because of how emotionally attached I was to it. Now, we have no control over the emotional reaction part. That shows up in all different areas of our lives for everyone. But what you do have control of is the thoughts that follow that emotion. This is the key point to overcome decision-making paralysis or any type of fear-based emotions. I could either surrender to the fear and all the thoughts that precede that are going to be fear-based and I can't do it, I'm not strong enough, I'm too scared, I don't like how I feel, or you could be self-aware of it and know that you control the thoughts that follow the emotion. So I would stop in that fear-based paralysis and say, why am I scared? What's being triggered within myself to have this reaction? Because I am safe right now. I'm not being forced to let go of anything that I don't want to let go of. I'm making the decisions to keep and let go what feels good for myself. I am strong enough to do this. I can do this. What I did was used my thoughts to take back my control over my emotions. You can reason with yourself until the paralysis subsides. You can become calm enough to make the decision. You can use your thoughts to take back control of your emotions. Now, it's not going to make the fear totally disappear, but it is going to keep your emotions from hijacking your behaviors. You're going to be in a space where you can take action to finally start decluttering. And when you start doing this for yourself, I want you to give yourself grace during this process of taking back control over your emotions. This did take me time to develop. And though you may feel scared inside, I just want to tell you that it is so much easier to get past these emotions and process these emotions than to be stuck in a state of fear. That is actually harder for you. You are going to feel such a relief once you realize you can gain this control back. It's going to build your confidence over time so that it becomes new programming for you. It's going to be a new reaction for you to be like, yeah, I can totally start decluttering. I can totally make these decisions so much easier. This is part of that strengthening your decluttering muscles. And if this is the first time you're going to try to overcome that decision-making paralysis for decluttering, remember, look around and pick something easy to let go of. Don't pick something hard or something sentimental that's going to set you back. There's always something that's easy for you to let go of, like a piece of trash. And as you're taking that action, that self-soothing process that you're doing is going to rewire your nervous system so that it registers your body as you are still safe as I declutter. This is how I have recovered from a level 4 hoarder who was terrified of letting anything go to now well on my way as a level 1 hoarder who now can make these quicker decisions to let go of items because I don't feel the attachment to it like I once did. You have the inner strength and control to change any fear, any habit, overcome any obstacle that you have. And I hope you realize just how strong and amazing you are. Now, as I was recording this, I had a phone call come through and I had to go to work. So I couldn't completely finish decluttering the whole desk for this episode because I wanted to make sure that it came out today on Friday. But you know what? That's quite okay. Things happen. Life happens. We keep moving forward because you know that next week we will be back in this basement clearing out another section in this hoarded space. And let me tell you something. This is a very big tossy pile. I know a lot of this was churned, but it just goes to show that when you do this over and over again and you change your thought processes, You've seen my tossy piles become bigger and bigger. I make quicker decisions. And I'm happy to say that some of this is going to go in the yard sale. A lot of this is going to be recycled, and it will be out of my house. And I am so happy to announce that this space looks fabulous. It's so cleared out. Miss Pepper is very pleased with the new open space that we have created down here. And even though I didn't get a chance to finish the desk like I would have liked to, it's okay. The fact that I'm motivated to complete the task is a huge victory. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean, declutter, and let go of something in your home today too.